Grand Theft Auto 3, a guide in how to survive the 2001 urban crowd environment. You play as Claude, a man with no free will of his own apparently.
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
As you go through mindlessly gunning down pretty much anyone, any and everyone who stands in your way. Like literally everyone. If not directly, pretty much indirectly, causing situations that has them killed later in the future. The game starts you off with a bullet to the head, and Claudia calling you.
You're just small time.
What she didn't know is that this wouldn't yield the result she was looking for in your murder. This would instead motivate you to become going from a small-time menace, from, robbing banks, to being the single most called of gun violence on the streets of Golden State. So the mission structure in this game is pretty simple. As you can see, there's still room for a lot of improvements, which the future games tend to look iterated upon, making them a little bit more like cinematic as time went on. Here, the missions are pretty open-ended, which can be pretty fun if the basic for the first entry. And they do lend for a lot of I wouldn't say creative moments. I wouldn't say 100% like creative moments, but definitely a lot of fun, kind of like water coolery type moments that it always feels like you could do these missions in just like a different amount of ways, even in a lot of the missions where they got a lot more linear until probably RDR2. It always felt like you could do missions kind of in a wide range of different ways, even if it was a bit like railroaded in one direction. You have a pretty wide range of weapons, from pistols, a shotgun, rifles, assault rifles. It's pretty much the standard loadout you would see in GTA, but I don't think you get the chainsaw yet. Or if you do, it's like one of those things you have to mod in there. The definitive version tries to make the shooting mechanics a bit better by updating it to the future controls you would see in like 4 or 5, but it never really works well. And it's like, it just feels like that shooting is just in its time, and you should just be using the classic controls, but I don't think the classic controls then work for the driving, which I feel like is very much like improved, but I don't think you have to do much to improve that kind of stuff. The Definitive Edition came out like, a year or two ago. It was pretty bad, or at least it reviewed pretty bad. I played it on the Series X and it was like fine for me. It definitely didn't look as good as like you probably want a remaster of all those 3 games to look, but I'd say as a person who only played the PS2 games originally, sporadically throughout different periods of my life, I'd say like it was good to have those 3 games under one roof to kind of just be able to access them without like emulating it. And then later, I would get an emulator for my PC to emulate it. Then I got the Definitive Edition for like $20. And I would say $20 is a pretty good price to pick this up. I think it will age better than the PS2 ones have, just because the PS2 ones were going for realism, where this one kind of feels as cartoony as the game kind of feels.
Salvatore's death comes as pleasurable news. You're an efficient killer. I like that in a man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? It kind of feels like it's almost in its place, even though I don't think there's a lot that could replace the original versions. I feel like this could be like a good way to access and experience them as time just goes on. And especially because the controls kind of suck in the old ones, so it always feels better to kind of just like chill out, play some Vice City, San Andreas 3, and just experience what the games were like pre GTA Online. Oh, yeah, there's also a story portion of this game. So in GTA 3, you'll work for multiple factions throughout the city. Like I said in an earlier video, you play the silent protagonist, so most of the game is told to you pretty one-sided through conversations with Claude. And by that I mean most people just giving Claude orders, sometimes through letters.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
You even get some messages on a pager, but those missions had me engaged with the horrible racing mechanic in this game, so I decided not to do that. So throughout the game, you'll just sow the seeds of chaos, supporting each side in a never-ending gang war for control of the city. This plot is straight out of a Saints Row plot, which, if you think about it, Saints Row 2 is like the perfect spiritual successor to GTA 3. I think I gotta do a video about that. Finally, you'll find the two people who originally betrayed you, and
Choice, baby.
We always got a choice, you dumb bastard. You're just small time.
damn. Well, I guess I always have Maria.
I broke a nail and my hair is ruined. I mean, can you believe it? This one cost me $50.